Hello, good evening. So it's been a couple of days since the last video, and it was so bad that I actually had to pull up my previous video to even see where I left off. And so if I understood it correctly, we're supposed to do a Scout 2. We basically finished their phase, and we're in the rally phase of Scout 2. And we're here ready to do actions, but I didn't do the actual Scout 2 part, you know, from the rally phase prior to this step. So we're gonna do that, and then I had to refresh my memory that Aragorn has this, thing that doesn't let him put cards on top of his deck, and then he has this in place, so we're gonna be able to do a Scout 3 as long as we're willing to discard a prepared skill. So that's all good. He has 3 prepared. Aragorn has 3 prepared skills. He's hidden, and then this is his damage. So I've already shuffled their decks, but I didn't actually do the scouting. I do know that we have one of the trinkets here with Bilbo, and that's basically it. I think it's a scepter that we're looking for. My lesson learned so far is that this game twice now has sent us in branching directions, and separating your crew to go into each direction at the same time is a bad idea. I mean, we're just surrounded here in conflict, but it is what it is, and we're stuck. And then I also, Legolas here is stuck at this forge, constantly trying to see if he can find a scepter there, and he, I think, has tested twice, and he's still stuck there. So, I think that's our situation. So let's go ahead and do the Scout 2 right now. So Aragorn, first one is Gift of Men, and then Strider. Now remember, I can't put stuff on top anymore because of his thing. And then also, just a forewarning, within 20 or 30 minutes, my doorbell might ring. And if that's the case, you might hear me abruptly, shut the video off, just because my dog's going to bark like mad, and I don't need you guys to, have to endure that. But I have no control over it. I'm recording, and it might happen. So anyways, let's go ahead. So this one is a Strike 3, Guard 2. It actually might help us. And since I can no longer put cards on top of his deck, right? You know my style. My style is I would see this as a success, and I'm like, oh, I'm keeping that, right? I'm going to prepare it this time. And we're going to use the text down here because otherwise I'm putting this on the bottom of my deck, and that's useless down there. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare that. And then this one I will put on the bottom of the deck. And that's Aragorn. And I might get rid of this Time of Need here whenever we do the Scout 3 coming up. Again, the Scout 3 is an interesting concept, because, he can't keep things on top, but everybody else will be able to. So here's, and oh, by the way, he had a Scout 3 now, because he's Aragorn. So, oh, look, this was the other one, Thorongil. This would have helped him a little. All right, this is going on the bottom. I will keep the other one that I prepared. Okay, now we go to Gimli. He also gets a Scout 3 because he's next to Aragorn. All right, so we got a nice one here, Kinship. This one, it's a pretty decent one, actually. So we're going to put that there. And then this one will go on top, and this one. So usual suspects there. Moving over to Legolas. We definitely want the success on top. And I'm actually going to prepare this. And then we'll discard that to do the Scout 3 thing. Here's Bilbo, and Simple Desires will get prepared, and then this one will go on the bottom. And Miss Elena. We finally get this one for the first time. When an enemy moves into your space, you may discard this to apply 4 hits and stun the enemy. That is an awesome one. Why don't we ever not get that before? So she will prepare that. Wow, that one is fantastic. And she's got her limit of 4 prepared skills, and then this one will go on the bottom. Okay, so now we're getting ready to start the action turn, or action round. And if Aragorn goes first, then we get to do this Scout 3 thing. And so we're going to do that. Aragorn's going to go first, and once again, we're going to see if we can do Scout 3. So looking at his stuff, I'm going to go ahead and discard that, and let's Scout 3 more. All right, so we have Lead the Charge, Ancient Wisdom, or Wanderer. So I'm going to equip or prepare Lead the Charge and put the other two on the bottom. So we got a lot of non-success stuff on the bottom. And then we're going to move on to Gimli here. Gimli actually has a tough choice because all three of these are pretty good. The Poet's Heart, excuse me, has the rest 2. So if Gimli ever takes damage, you know, it'd be nice for him to be able to rest. But the bonus itself is, oh, sorry. Sorry about that. The bonus itself is not that great. It's interacting with people, and there's nobody to interact with. He's in the middle of battle. The rest 2, however, is really good. And then, of course, this one we just prepared, and that would let somebody reveal 2 additional cards. I'm going to go ahead and toss this one. The 2 additional cards is really, really nice, but if he ever takes damage, I want that rest 2. Because that rest 2 could be the difference between, you know, him staying alive or not. And so this is the situation. He has the 1 card we know is on top, and then he's drawing 2 more. And you can see here, he could try to put agility or wisdom, and he'll go ahead and prepare the agility, and then put the wisdom, do usual suspects. So, okay. Now, the reason I chose the agility is, of course, Gimli has an agility of 1. So it's really nice to have an automatic success. Okay, now we get to Legolas here. Legolas is going to go ahead and discard this, the weakness. And then we already know that one. And then these are the next 2. And we're just going to do usual suspects. So that will stay on top, and then he'll prepare this one. Bilbo, what are we going to discard? Oh, he's got a weakness here. We'll go ahead and discard the weakness. Draw 3 for Bilbo. Okay, he's got this one called Embrace the Darkness. When you test if you're in darkness, which he is right now, convert 1... Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry that it's not focused here. Convert 1 fate to a success. Before you hide, you may suffer 1 fear that cannot be prevented to not discard that skill. That's an interesting one, because he can also hide, right? He can use this to get into hiding. He is in the darkness right now, which allows him to convert to success. And then, of course, we got another one of these stinkers, right? I'm actually going to prepare this, even though it's got a success. I think right now, situationally, it's a really good position. Although this other weakness, you know, stinks, but we'll make sure that goes on the bottom. Bilbo's going to be testing this water spigot or whatever. So now we go to Elena, and Elena has this, a weakness in her prepared section. So we're just going to discard that. And we draw 3. And then this one lets her heal. Her and nearby heroes collectively can heal 4 face-down damage and fear. She happens to have 1 fear herself. It's not super helpful at this moment. I mean, it's not the worst thing either. I'm going to go ahead and just equip this or prepare this wisdom one. And I may just end up discarding it later. And then the other 2 are going to do usual suspects. Okay. So our situation, tactically speaking, we got a big fight on our hands here. Legolas needs to help us, but he's busy at the forge. We did find a scepter, but we have no idea if it's the right one. We're trying to find water because apparently the water will reveal what's the right scepter. The problem is that when we found a scepter, it told us to keep looking because the one we found may not be the right one. I have no idea what the mechanics of the game is and like how many of these we're supposed to find, etc. And every time we keep exploring, more crap like this happens to us. And I feel like I'm getting bogged down in battles. And we do have fog here, so I'm thinking that's where the real water is. And so that's why when Bilbo found this thing that looks like water, I want to explore that. Because any of these tiles that's near here, I want to explore the search tokens because I need to get this to reveal. That's my logic. Whether it's the right logic, I have no idea. There is definitely a huge advantage if you've played this campaign before. And I think Imperial Assault sort of works the same way. You get this big advantage when you've played before. I do like how FFG sometimes mixes it up. So for example, I think in the last mission we had to figure out who was the guy at the inn that was guilty, right? I'm willing to bet the next time we go to that inn, it'll be a whole different scenario where we might have the same characters, but it's the dwarf's guilty or the hobbit's guilty or whatever. I do like that FFG does that. But for missions like this, I don't think they mix it up that much. Aragorn's first. And he is right now with 3 goblins. And let me make sure that those are... Yes, they are all together. They have 3 hit points each and an armor. Now, Aragorn does not have the ability to go through the armor. And then there's 2 search tokens here, but we can't do anything about that until we get rid of the monsters. So I'm looking at Aragorn's situation, and he, of course, is going to attack. So let's attack these 3, and we're going to draw 1, 2, and 3. So we got 1 success, and we would need 3 to do maximum damage, 2 to do 5. So Aragorn can spend 2 to make it 3 hits. And then I'm going to do my Strider thing, right, to add a strike 3 to it, right? Because that's why we prepared these things. I wasn't able to put this on top of the deck, so I might as well prepare it. And I want to discard it right away because if I go through the deck and have to reshuffle, I want this to be back in the mix. So we're going to get 3 hits with his sword, and then we're going to add 3 more to it with this. So it's not hits, it's 3 successes with his sword, which amounts to 7 hits. So this is 7 hits plus 3 more, that's going to be 10 hits. So let's go ahead and try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there you go, we killed 2. And I want to just make sure my eyesight, like with me sneezing or whatever, I think I have seasonal allergies or something, and I usually don't, but I'm having a real hard time seeing as well. After your attack, you may discard this skill to gain 1 inspiration and for a nearby hero to also attack. And then see here it has strike 2. When you attack, discard to add 2 hits. So if you look here, that's 2 hits right there. So I'm going to use this for the strike 2. I was going to have Gimli do the free attack, but I think this makes sense. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Undying Might to get an automatic success. Sorry. And take 1 of these back. So I only had to spend 1 of the inspiration. And so all this is going to go into the discard. And we're going to add 2 more hits to the mix. And he only has 1 prepared skill left, but that's fine. And so we're going to add 2 hits. We actually did 12 damage, and we killed all 3 of them. And that's what I wanted to do, all in 1 turn. Bam! So here, a nearby hero is going to gain an inspiration, and I'm going to give that inspiration to Gimli, because he has 0. Perfect, perfect. All right, so Gimli has 0 inspiration, so we'll give him 1. And this situation just got a whole lot better. So all 3 of these guys are gone. Now I can do this search here, and that's what I'm going to do next. When the city was attacked, it appeared some of the citizens stockpiled supplies here. Most have faded to worthless filth, but looters have not yet searched the stinking heap. Okay, so let's do a search. And we have to test spirit, it looks like. Because we're going into something that stinks, I guess. All right, the spirit for Aragorn is only 2, so that's not good. Here's 1, so we got a success. And 2, of course, is a fail. So we at least got 1 success. I don't think it's going to be enough. You step clear. We basically couldn't handle the... After you cut your breath, you glare back at it, and it's basically telling you got to keep going. So his turn's over, though. He can't keep going now. And so then what's next? We're going to activate Gimli next. And Gimli has a similar situation. So we're going to go ahead and try to kill this orc. And so we already know this is on top for 1. And then we have 2, 3, and 4. So we got 2 successes. And I could make it a 3rd. Let me click on this orc here. He only has 4 health points. And we need, with 2 successes, we do 6 hits. So we're going to go ahead and just do 2 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this Goblin Scout is kaput. And then he gains an inspiration. I'm going to go ahead and give him the second one as well. And then this guy's gone. All right. This is annoying because he shoots from 1 space away. But there's nothing I can do about that. I'm going to go ahead and search with Gimli on his spot. And he's going to have to test Wisdom 2. And his Wisdom is only 2, so this is not going to be a great test. All right, so there's a success, which is good. And then this next one is not. But we're going to go ahead and spend one of those tokens, and then we got 2 successes. So we do pass. You lose the trail after a short while you were tracking. It was no goblin, nor man, nor hobbit. At least you're confident that whatever it was, it's left the area. So we're going to scout 3, then discard the search token. All right, so I guess that's cool, but his turn's over. So scouting 3 sort of sucks. Oh, I'm going to take this token back. I forgot, when he attacks, he gets to put his success, he gets to put one of his cards back on top of his deck, and he would have put a success there. So he would have drawn that first, and then he would have drawn the other success second. So anyway, scout 3, we can at least prepare something here. We do have 2 successes and a clever wit. I'll go ahead and just prepare the clever wit and put those on top, but unfortunately, I mean, maybe once he defends himself, those 2 successes will come in handy. So those 2 at least killed their guys, but there's not much else to be proud of. The Legolas now is going to try to finish his exploration here. And we're doing the forge thing, and it's a wit test. And his wit is 3. And we do have 2 successes on top of his deck, and then this is the 3rd card, which is not a success. He doesn't have any inspiration tokens, so he can't do anything about that, and all he got was 2. So that might be a problem. 1, 2. It's saying do more. Okay, so we're going to try again. We're going to test wit. Here's 1, that's a success. Here's 2, nothing. And there's 3, so 2 more successes. And there it is. Ignoring the remnants of the Smith's day-to-day work, blah, blah, blah. Lore goes up by 1. We were able to bring the threat down by 4. and we got another scepter. So at least that was worth it. I'm guessing to follow the pattern, Aragorn being on that garbage heap, we'll find one as well. This one with Gimli is gone, and then of course Legolas just finished. Legolas went twice, and so his turn is over. But we are going to discard this card, and it says at the end of your turn you may discard this skill to gain 1 inspiration or scout 1. He's going to gain an inspiration because he's currently at 0, so we're going to give him 1. And now I'm going to have Bilbo go because I want Bilbo to check out this water thing. It says before you interact, look at the top card of your deck. All right, so it's not a fate, so he doesn't get an inspiration. But we already know that that's going to be good, so I'll leave it out because I have a feeling we're going to be using it. Could these be the waters you were looking for? Is this the droid you're looking for? So we're going to test agility. For Bilbo, that is 3, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just reading his skills. All right, so agility is 3. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So he has 2 successes, and he's going to go ahead and spend 1 to make it 3. And I don't even have to spend 1. And here's why. Sorry for the silence there. The card we just prepared. When you test, if you're in darkness, you get to convert 1 for free. You don't have to discard this card. So that's free. So we got 3 successes. 1, 2, 3. Coming back over to here, and sorry for the lack of focus. You surface again to catch your breath. This may yet hold secrets. Oh gosh, we gotta try again. All right, so one more time. And it's again the agility thing. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. 1, success. 2 is gonna be a success because of our card. And then we can actually make that 4 successes. And I don't see any reason why not. So I'm going to make it 4 successes. So I'm going to spend 2 more. So this one's automatically converted, and then that happens. So we're going to put in 4 more. I'm tired of messing around with this game. 1, 2, 3, 4. And glimmering at the bottom of your hand comes upon something not treasure, but a lever. The mechanism hidden in the well provokes a series of rhythmic clunks that guide you to a wall as it moves aside. Boom, there it is. 303B. So let's get that sucker in place. All right, well done, Bilbo. It's always the Hobbit that bails them out. Here we go, 303B. So let me make sure I got it oriented correctly. And it looks like it's going to be this. And that would be my doorbell. So I will see you soon.